Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today we're going to be talking about two spots. One, Huntington Beach Pier, but before we talk about that, we're going to talk about kind of trestles. It's called Cottons. It's just north of Upper Trestles, and it's a long walk, so not a lot of people go there. Unless you live up on the bluff, then there's a staircase that goes down and then south from there a little bit, and that's called Cottons. It's a rocky bottom. It's a real good break. But what happened is that Craig, the guy I surf with a lot, went there on a Saturday. I did not go, but he apparently fell off his board on the first wave, and the board came down and hit him in the head, and he has 9 stitches across the top of his head. So he is going to be out of the water for at least 10 days, probably 2 weeks. But apparently it came down. He thinks it was the rail, so it hit him straight on the head. And then as he put his hand up there to feel it, his hand was covered in blood. And then when he got back to the car, the blood was all over his face, just dripping down on both sides. So he got a really bad hit with that surfboard, and that hurts. So he got a hit, and then had to go into the doctor's, and he got 9 stitches across the top of his head. Now, when I saw him today, he was just on his bike at the pier, and it was all bandaged up, so I couldn't see where it hit him. But I mean, I couldn't see the scar, the stitches, but the patch was directly over his head, just slightly to the left. So the first thing he did is he went online and bought himself a helmet, which is probably a good idea. Because the board he rides is a big, heavy board, and if it comes back to hit you, it's going to hurt. And so that's our little blood story. So he'll be out of the water for a little bit. So I had to go alone today, and so I biked on down to the pier, Huntington Pier, and good size. Tide was coming down, but it was still high, so it made it so it was only the larger waves would break outside, and then the middle wasn't breaking at all. And the inside break, what I call the shore break, was breaking, but it was on very shallow water, so it was really tricky. So I started outside. I paddled out alongside the pier, and it's a long paddle out. I mean, I'm talking past the middle, even almost out to Ruby's. I mean, we were really close to Ruby's when I finally got all the way outside, but I couldn't catch anything out there. I was on my 6-foot board, which I'm going to try to ride for a little bit, and it's the first time I've been on it in a month or two, so wasn't used to it again, so I couldn't paddle as fast, so I wasn't catching anything out there. So I moved in and tried to catch some on the inside, and those were breaking too fast and on the shore. So I went back out and caught as the tide was going out. So as it starts to drop, it starts to break a little better. So I went back out further and started catching some waves on the outside break. So it was kind of tricky today, but it was still pretty good. I mean, strong, as Huntington usually is. But tomorrow I think we're going to go to Newport because I have a new guy coming with me. And Craig's not going to be around a while, so I'm going to try to just do our thing otherwise. So looks good for tomorrow. Supposed to be warmer, supposed to be sunny, and so looking forward to that. So today was kind of weird. I mean, didn't really catch a lot of waves. I spent a lot of time paddling back in and out trying to find the right spot. But the current was kind of weird. At one point when I was trying to come in, I was in a riptide, and I'm paddling, and I'm looking around. I'm not moving. So I finally decided to go north and get out of that rip current. And so I paddled about 50, 75 yards north. And then after I passed the rip, then I just waited for a wave and then just caught it in. And it was breaking better down there towards the north end, closer to the condos. So I should have gone over there earlier, but I didn't know any better. I was staying by the pier out of habit. And so we'll have to take a better look at it probably on Thursday, since we're going to Newport tomorrow, most likely. But you never know. The weather looks good, so we'll see what happens. That's it. Kind of a slow day for surfing, for me anyway. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Until then, thanks for listening. Check out our sponsors, me at WordPress, Dan Nappy at WordPress. Have a book up there with 2 chapters so far. Can read up on that. And then there's Birch Hero, Task Bullet, and Swing Easy Hammocks. So give us a listen, give us a look, and we'll see you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.